this is where the buck stops.
That's right.
That is cool. Wayne Lyman, you're another Chicago actor. Now, Johnny, I've known Johnny like forever. Johnny, I don't know if I've told, I don't know if I've told Johnny this or not, but I mean, I highly respect and admire Johnny for some of the things that he's been able to do. Back when I was growing up, he used to work at the same place where I work at now as a program director, the Union League Boys and Girls Club. I respected the fact that, Johnny, you were able to, you've been through some troubles. I mean, you've done what everybody else has done as a young teenager, but you were able to kind of work your way, maybe I should say fight your way out of everything that happened while you were young, became a professional fighter, became a title holder, had some network fights, and now you're playing the acting game. And to me, that's something that I admire because I grew up in the same neighborhood and I know what there is out there. And for you guys to be able to kind of get your way out of those situations and get yourselves now where, you know, you're successful, and it's by doing things straight.
Well, you know, I got lucky, and you know, the Boys Club was a motivating factor. I had met a number of people through the Boys Club, like Leo, my former boss, your recent boss at the Union League Boys Club, and a couple of teachers and people that took interest in me. And I was going through an experimenting age, you know, with the peer pressure and the drug stuff and doing everything what everybody else was doing and experimenting with everything. And that's what young people are doing in their life. They're experimenting. A lot of times the experiment turns wrong, and they got to be strong enough to be able to see they want to get out of that experiment if it's going the wrong way, and try to do a re-experiment to get them into something positive. Myself, I've always liked freedom. And I never thought of myself as a Chicagoan or an Illinoisan or a U.S. citizen. I thought of myself as a world citizen, that the world was my playground, and I wanted to see the world, and just, I wasn't going to let anything be limited to me to my neighborhood.
You have done that because you did the professional boxing thing, and you've managed professional boxers and everything else, so you've kind of bounced around. There was one time you came back from Africa?
Yeah, it was an interesting trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or did you go to Wayne?
Wayne's done extensive traveling too in boxing, has been able to be in the media for him, as he was a former Olympian boxer and a professional, and he's traveled around the world representing the United States team when he was an amateur. So, you know, he could blend in and understand exactly what I'm talking about when they were able to travel and see that everyone's the same.
Have you been through the same type of things, Wayne? Kind of growing up, things are a little rough, and it's very easy to turn in the wrong direction, and I guess you becoming a boxer kind of gave you something else to focus your energies on.
Yes, exactly. Kept me off the streets, and again gave me something to do, somewhere to go. Instead of hanging out on the street corners, I would go to the gym, and you know, we'd all meet up at the gym every day. That was something to do, and training and fighting, you know, with each other as a group, it made us all closer, and it was just fun, you know. Traveling with your buddies, different cities, you know, winning trophies, medals. I enjoyed it.
Now, Johnny's situation was you basically had no choice but to box, am I right?
Oh, with my past background about when I was incarcerated?
Right. Well, I didn't want to bring that up.
Well, you're beating around the bush. How could we have gotten around it?
No, I mean, boxing was the one way that you had to get out of what you were in. I wasn't going to talk about that.
Well, that's how I got out. The judge gave me an ultimatum. He says, you either box and win all your fights. If you lose your fight, and we're going to put you back in jail. That was the ultimatum. I mean, how can we be delicate about it?
Well, I was delicate about it because I was going to ask Wayne, you know, how maybe his parents, because a lot of parents these days, if you come around and say, I want to box, you're going to say, no. You're going to get hurt. You're going to run into the wrong type of people. And they don't look at it like you guys looked at it, where you're going to make money, you're going to travel, you're going to deal with people.
Well, there's a lot of money to be made in boxing, especially if you go to Florida.
You know what?
Sunkist is hiring boxing oranges.
You guys were probably born 10, 15 years a little early, weren't you? The boxing game now is unbelievable.
Huh.
You guys think about that? I shouldn't know. That's rough to talk about, but think about it.
I think every generation feels that way. They make more and more money each time out.
And love will shine on you one day. Well, children, hold on to your dreams. Believe in love, and love be the light to show the way. Oh, yeah, yeah. Life will smile on you one day.
Justice in the state of Illinois Center. I've got two of you here who I guess I can call experts at being able to fight through everything to get to where you want to go. What kind of advice might both you, Wayne, and you, Johnny, talk to some of the younger people that may feel that they're struggling with certain things in life right now, and either they want to quit or they're like, wow, I may want to do this or I may want to do this?
I'm sorry.
I'm looking for words of wisdom to those who, you know, in the city that we live in now. I mean, these young people are faced with so many different type of decisions, and not all of them good. And you guys grew up, and you had to face some of the same decisions. Obviously, you guys have been able to become something based on the choices that you chose to make. So basically, I guess I'm looking for advice for young people that may be faced with those type of decisions. He gives you the heavy questions, don't he?
Yeah, thanks. I guess what I can say is just, you know, you look at people who, drugs, for example, you look at people out there doing drugs, they're not going anywhere, and it's just, it's not the thing to do. It's not where I would want to be. I've always been the kind of person who just wanted to do something, go places, you know, and you just gotta be focused.
So I guess you got to find something positive to motivate yourself.
Sure.
Schooling.
Good role model.
Excellent.
I beg to differ. Let me add something more in here. You know what? If you got a sense of humor and you want to do it, just go do it. I mean, Wayne and I will go on anywhere we've gone throughout our years of knowing each other and being close friends, and we've traveled throughout the country, and we've been in some slumps, and we've been in together, and we've been on top of the heap, and we've been on top of the heap together, and through it all, wherever we go, we always have a great sense of humor. We're laughing all the time. When we came in, did you see us always laughing and giggling and have to walk out of the room? And
well, that was good. I was hoping you guys weren't mad at me for being...
No, so I mean, but that's everywhere we go. People can't take us, and don't take life so serious. My advice to young people would be not to take life so serious. It isn't the end of the world, and try to make fun and make light of everything you do. You know, sure, study has to be somewhat serious, but you can make fun out of that. If you can make studying fun for yourself, you'll enjoy it a lot more, and it'll be a lot more easier to do it. If you could take whatever your parents want you to do to keep your life straight and work a little harder in school, try to find someone to make that fun for yourself. Giggling and laughing throughout the whole day, not taking things so darn serious. Look at in the background. I'm just talking about it. Giggling and laughing. All right. They're not going to have any problem, these two over here.
If I had taken everything seriously that I've been through in my 28 years, I probably wouldn't even be here these days. I mean, I just take it as it comes. Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Have fun. Don't take things serious. And you know, don't make it personal.
Okay,
You excel at things you enjoy.
Okay, Wayne and John, boxing is kind of taking a kick in the teeth these days. A couple reasons for it, I guess. One of the reasons is a lot of people are attacking it because of the condition of Muhammad Ali, who can barely, he can think, but he can't speak. He can move, but he can't do what he used to do. And now there are those who are sitting there saying that maybe we should outlaw boxing, maybe it should be sanctioned a little more strictly, so we don't have people getting hurt. Because when you see
talk about that.
When you see an icon like Muhammad Ali struggling, you know that's very effective.
Muhammad who?
Muhammad Ali.
What happened to him?
From Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, yeah, I got some trouble talking now.
Yes, he does. And because he has trouble talking,
I'm just joking with you. You know, there's things like that happening. I mean, boxing, a lot of people don't know statistics, and boxing is one of the least injury-prone and fatality-prone sports. It's 8th or 9th on the sports injury and fatality list. There are so many sports above it. But because he was such a great athlete, they use him as an example, okay? You never hear or go read about the football players that get killed. You know, there's more football players killed in 2 years than in 20 years of boxing.
And if you want to go back 20 years of football players are experiencing problems when they're 40 and 50.
Oh, far more than boxers.
Far more than boxers.
And so, I mean, it's up to the individual how you take care of your body through while you're working out and training. You know, and he chose to be a fighter. You know, like race cars who die in a race. They chose to be a race car driver. What they should ban and outlaw and have more concern for and channel all of their energy into is preventing war, preventing starvation, preventing homelessness, preventing drugs coming into our society, preventing child pornography, child abuse. And if a man chooses to be a boxer, or if he wants to be a race car driver, or a down mountain skier, and that's how he wants to go out in life, then God bless him. That's his choice. This is America.
Talking about John Lira, club kid gone good, and becoming the U.S. lightweight champion, ending up in Gladiator, the movie, and working in the political field. But at one point, you were also a club kid that didn't do so good.
There was a lot of things that fascinated us in the area. A lot of our role models were burglars and thieves. Drugs wasn't coming into the city at that time. Not in our area. I mean, no one even was doing anything with marijuana. But there was a lot of guys who were drinking, and they'd get into street fights, and they would steal mostly, and they're burglars. Some of the top burglars in the country came from our neighborhood, which is nothing to be proud of, but that's the truth. And so what fascinated us was the intrigue of getting into places we weren't supposed to be allowed to get into. So that was the kind of thing. And then the peer pressure and all of our friends being into it. But then the Boys Club having so many programs and exposing us to so many different areas of life and different experiences. Finally, the good took over and learned my lessons and said, why should I put my energy in a negative direction when I can put my energy in a positive direction and get more out of life? And so the common sense of it all, from all the different seminars and lectures, and the club going to the camps and meeting different particular individuals that were working at the club. Leo Barron, Jim Swab, Jim Casario. These guys were great guys. They never gave up on us.
It's interesting that you too followed in those same footsteps, because everything that you went through, which included getting locked up and appearing before judges, you turned that around and you started talking to young people about mistakes that they could maybe avoid if they make decisions a little bit differently.
Well, it's all about a choice and decision. And, if you take your time and in retrospect, evaluate your mood and your feelings, and really think about when you step back for a second and think for 30 seconds. When you're able to start doing that and self-analyze your own actions and what you're really trying to do, that's when you start preventing yourself from making stupid choices.
So as you came along as a young man, how did things change in terms of the people that influenced you? Apparently you were influenced by a negative group early on, and then you became influenced by people like Ed Kelly as you got older.
A lot of the younger guys, our peers that we grew up with, all came from decent families. Hardly anybody came from and out of decent families. Their moms and dads all worked a job. They all were, we all went to good schools. They all wore nice, clean clothes. And there was no real reason for us to be getting involved in the trouble we were getting involved in. It was just more of the excitement and the peer pressure. And through anthropology, group peering. Groups that were set up up here, who's the dominant male, so on and so forth. So just reflecting upon that as it was happening, and watching a lot of guys not making the right choices and getting shot and getting stabbed and ended up in jail for a real long time. And then drugs came in and they started messing around, getting messed up on drugs. And knowing them how handsome they looked and how great the girls looked when they were younger people, and how positive and fun-loving they were, and how the drugs and that lifestyle was making them a changed person. I didn't want that. I seen it. I was able to identify it, and I changed all my energy and put it in another direction. And then I became a father at a young age. I remember looking at my daughter in the crib one time, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder what she's going to think of me when she becomes a young woman. What kind of father I'm going to be? What kind of example would I be setting? and that was one of the major motivating factors too. I wanted to, give her a good role model.
Well, throughout the years, to have been able to know you and to know of all the issues that you carried early on and all the positive impact that you had at the club as you got older, I do consider yourself one of those people that I've looked up to for all these years, and I always get a kick out of talking to you, not just on the air when we have our little talks like we did at Salerno's with that reunion, but even on the phone or whatever. You've always been focused on trying to make things better for those who followed you. Now, I guess the question becomes, it took you being in front of a judge to stop making those goofy decisions. Yet, here it is 2007, 30 years since you were fighting in the Olympic tryouts, and kids are still finding themselves in the same kind of trouble.
And